Well, the climate in our district before A2A came in was obviously we were focused on attendance, but we were a little bit scattered, I'd say. We had different policies being administered at different campuses. They weren't uniform, and the policies we had were not always administered in a consistent manner. And so we recognized that we needed to do something there because attendance is so important that we began to look at different options, and one of those was, of course, A2A. The staff was very positive about it. They saw it as a benefit because they were already, you know, our staff, like a lot of districts, are having to do a lot of different things. We're doing more with less, so as your staff gets smaller, the jobs don't go away, they're just doing more work.
They're wearing a lot of hats, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so as a result of that, they saw this as an opportunity to do what they knew we needed to do to get done, to make the attendance more efficient, but also had an outside resource that would help them achieve that. So it was very positive.
How has A2A impacted parent communication in your school district?
Well, parent communication in our district, because of A2A and other things that we've done, has, I believe, very much improved. One of the things that we realized was that we already had the policy in place that if a student was out for 3 days, for example, for unexcused absences, a letter was supposed to go out, and then after 5 another, and then a final warning, and then we would file on them for truancy after the 10th unexcused absence. But those letters weren't going out in a consistent manner or in a timely manner, and both of those things were a problem for us. And so with A2A, it began to be much more consistent. The principal or the administrator responsible for attendance still had control over whether those letters went out, because there's always reasons sometimes that a child shouldn't have gotten a warning letter. And so they felt comfortable because of that control. They had what they felt was very good information and good data to make decisions on. And then so as a result of that, you had a quicker response time to kids that were having problems with attendance.
And you found that it's really worked, that while it's on the one hand centralized to have letters go out, it's decentralized so that the people at the site could prohibit or suppress that letter from going out, and that's been working for you.
Exactly.
What do you think the longer-term effects are going to be with the increase of attendance, greater parental communication on your district?
Well, I think what's happened is that through the initial number of letters that went out, there was a little bit of a pushback from some parts of the community because they weren't used to that. But what it did was increase the communication taking place between the campuses and those parents. And they began to realize what the letters were, why they were being sent out. And so what you had is a better dialogue taking place. And that, combined with the conferences that the administrators were having with students and parents were having excessive unexcused absences, improved that communication even more. And so what we feel like long-term impact will be is, one, we're having better attendance, two, kids learn more, obviously, if they're in school, and three, I think if we can sustain this, which is our goal, obviously, it will create more of a culture or the expectation that kids need to be in school. There's not a good reason not to be there. The purpose of us worrying about attendance is, one, if the kids can't be there, they can't learn. That's our whole mission. But two, because of the way funding is attached to attendance, it's just critical for us to tap into an obvious source of revenue that we badly need. After the first year we implemented the A2A program, we did have an increase of about 0.7% in ADA, and that resulted in close to $500,000 in additional state funding.